Lowitja Lois O'Donoghue Smart, ACCBE, DSG is an Aboriginal Australian retired public administrator. In 1990 to 1996 she was the inaugural chairperson of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Commission. Personal life. Lois O'Donoghue was born in 1932 in the remote Aboriginal community of Bahudhara, the fifth of 6 children of the common-law marriage of Tom and Lily O'Donoghue. Her father was a stockman of Irish-Australian descent and her mother was a member of the Untitled Aboriginal tribe of northwest South Australia. After living at Everard Park, where they had 2 children, the O'Donoghues moved in 1925 to Granite Downs, a large cattle property bordering the east of the Strait Highway in the north of South Australia. The 4 youngest children were born here, including Lois on 1 August 1932, who was baptized by a pastor from the United Aborigines Mission. Her parents were concerned for the welfare and education of their children in such an isolated location as Granite Downs, where there was no school, and at an early age the children were taken by the parents to the United Aborigines Mission in Adelaide run by the Baptists. From here they were moved to the recently opened Colebrook home in Quorn run by the mission. Marriage. In 1979 she married Gordon Smart, a medical orderly at the repatriation hospital whom she had first met in 1964. He died in 1992. They had no children. Following her retirement, she formally added the name Lowitja to her existing legal name, Lois O'Donoghue Smart, to emphasize her Lowitja Aboriginal heritage. Education. According to O'Donoghue, she was very happy living at Colebrook and said she received a sound education both there and at the Quorn Primary School. The Quorn community at large actively encouraged children from the home to participate in local events, and assisted in the maintenance of the home. Only a few people objected to the integration. In 1944 Colebrook home moved to Eden Hills, South Australia due to chronic water shortages, enabling her to attend Unley High School, a local public school, and obtain her intermediate certificate. She was taught up until the Leaving Certificate standard but did not sit for the examination. At Colebrook home the elder children assisted in taking care of younger children. Thus, with this experience, at the age of 16, Lois O'Donoghue's first job was as a nanny looking after 6 children with a family in Victor Harbour, some 100 kilometres south of Adelaide. While attending Baptist Church there she was persuaded by the matron of the South Coast District Hospital to take up nursing as a career. Royal Adelaide Hospital. From 1950 to 53 O'Donoghue worked as a nursing aide in Victor Harbour. The small hospital did not run a comprehensive training course, so with the strong support and assistance of the matron, she applied to be a student nurse in Adelaide. After a long struggle to win admission to a training hospital, she became the first black nurse in South Australia. The Royal Adelaide Hospital policy at the time was to only take nursing students who had obtained the Leaving Certificate, so initially they would not consider taking her. Fortunately, the hospital shortly afterwards introduced a scheme to allow deserving students to be accepted without the necessary educational qualifications. In 1954, she was in the first intake of unqualified students to attend the Royal Adelaide Hospital, which offered good nursing career prospects. She qualified as a nurse and worked at the Royal Adelaide until 1961, being appointed a charge nurse just before leaving India. She spent time with the Baptist Church working in Assam, northern India as a nurse relieving missionaries who were taking leave back in Australia. Due to the nearby Sino-Indian War, she was advised by the Australian government to evacuate to Calcutta, from where she would depart for her return to Australia. South Australian public servant. After returning in 1962, she worked as an Aboriginal liaison officer with the South Australian Department of Education. She later transferred to the SAR Department of Aboriginal Affairs and was employed as a welfare officer based mainly in the north of the state, in particular at Coobapedy, some 200 kilometres south of her birthplace. Commonwealth Public Service, Department of Aboriginal Affairs. In 1967, Lowitja O'Donoghue joined the Commonwealth Public Service as a junior administrative officer in the Adelaide office of the newly formed Department of Aboriginal Affairs. After 8 years, she became the director of the department's office in South Australia, a senior officer position, responsible for the local implementation of national Aboriginal welfare policy. After a short while, she left the public service and had various management, administrative roles with non-government organisations. She was appointed by the government as chairperson of the Aboriginal Development Commission, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Commission. In 1990 megaseconds, O'Donoghue was appointed chairperson of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Commission, a position she held until 1996. In 1991, along with Alf Bambit and Steve Gordon, she became one of the first Aboriginal people to attend a cabinet meeting. O'Donoghue used this occasion to put ATSIC's position forward with regard to the government's response to the Royal Commission into Aboriginal deaths in custody. In December 1992, O'Donoghue became the first Aboriginal Australian to address the United Nations General Assembly during the launch of the United Nations International Year of Indigenous People. She was replaced as chairperson by Gajil Jikara, who was considered by the Howard government to be more moderate. Identity. Lowitja was a chairperson of the National Aboriginal Conference for a short time in the early 1980s before it was dissolved due to internal disputes on its direction. Member of the Stolen Generations. After the publication of the Bringing Them Home report in 1997, she said she preferred the word removed from the word stolen for her personal situation. She was the youngest child in her family, and was 2 years old when she was removed from her mother. After she was removed, she did not see her mother again for 33 years. During that time, her mother did not know where her family had been taken. Honours and AMP Awards. In 1976, O'Donoghue was the first Aboriginal woman to be inducted into the New Order of Australia founded by the Labor Australian Commonwealth Government. The award was in recognition of her work in the welfare field. Lowitja O'Donoghue was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1983, and was named Australian of the Year in 1984, for her work to improve the welfare of Australian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. She was made a Companion of the Order of Australia on 26 January 1999. O'Donoghue received honorary doctorates from Murdoch University, University of South Australia, Australian National University, Queensland University of Technology, and Flinders University. In 2000, she was made an honorary professorial fellow at Flinders University and was a visiting fellow at Flinders University. She is a national patron at the Bob Hawke Prime Ministerial Centre and was inducted into the Olympic Order in 2000. In 2005, O'Donoghue was made Dame of the Order of St. Gregory the Great by Pope John Paul II.